Alrighty team, welcome back to another video. The Christmas hat is back. If you haven't watched the last video when I did the Malek boss, I explained why I've got the Christmas hat on, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Let's rock it. Just quickly, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, would be greatly appreciated. If you like the content, you want to stick around, would be awesome. We are pushing for 2k subs by December 16th, which is the 1 year anniversary of the channel. So if you could and you want to stick around, that'd be awesome. Anyway, into the video. So today's video kind of serves a couple of purposes, and I don't really have a flow that I'm going to follow, so it's a little bit of a ramble and a little bit of a rant, and I'll explain as I go what I mean. I'm also slightly cheating, and I'm delaying a little bit until I can get my one-step evolution token, because I don't want to waste all my mats on leveling up. Where is she? Queen Elizabeth. So I did get her 3-6 in the summons. Again, if you haven't seen it, it's on the channel in the live section. Feel free to go check it out. But we will be doing showcases and stuff for her across all the content. So don't worry, that is on its way. I even gave her attack crit gear for the showcase. So that's coming. But I wanted to talk about, I suppose, some of the decisions that have happened in the game recently. And I just want to state this. I love this game. I really, really enjoy playing it. I'm not going to stop playing it. This is, I'm not a game developer. I'm not a professional. I don't understand the inner workings of how to build a game or how to sell or market a game. I do work in business, but this more comes from a personal level of someone who just enjoys playing the game and is trying to understand a few things. So to start off with, I suppose, let's cover the LR system that's come out. Right? Let's start with that. So we're up to 3 LRs now, right? We obviously have Red Elizabeth, Green, the one Escanor, and then the one Escanor, Sunshine Escanor, and then Lost Fane, and then obviously Margaret as well. And I haven't UR'd her yet because I don't have the legendary seals for it, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to do it, right? So these three, first off, I love the LR system, right? Makes total sense. Love it. It's a great addition to the game. It's really, really cool. The concept that I love is that it brings back units that were kind of dead, right? So Lost Fame was a very old festival unit. You gave him a really nice update. He becomes very, very usable again. You bring back the Sunshine Escanor, which is a team favorite of everyone, or a fan favorite of everyone, right? Where, he's a little bit restrictive and you can only use him with humans really to be effective, but he's still a great unit and he brings humans to be part of the meta in terms of like versus demons, unknowns, etc., right? And then you have Red Liz, who again was basically a dead unit in the game. She became super, super useful and a phenomenal PvE unit. Right? So 3 units that were kind of dead in the game, had no real use, and have come back to the forefront of the game. For all those that might be guessing where I'm going with this, let's talk about Margaret. Now, you can LR Margaret, and she has a slight increase in her charge ability, and she decreases crit resistance. Anyway, we'll touch on the abilities in a second, but my point is that Margaret still had a place in this game, right? Margaret still had a fantastic cleanse card. Yes, her passive and stuff took a little bit to proc, but she still had a fantastic cleanse card that was still used very regularly in the game, and she was still quite a prominent figure in terms of why she was used, how she was used, and still had a place, right? And it was still something that you'd be wanting to summon and wanting to use. Whereas the other 3, you couldn't really say the same. Those 3 were kind of dead in the water and there was no use for them. So, why would you give LR to Margaret? Out of all the units in the game that needed it, a festival unit that was released, a year ago, or however long, a year and a half ago, whatever it was, is not it. That's still being used today. The amount of units that we have, let's just filter by race here. First off, let's look at demons. You have all of these commandment demons, right? All of these commandments, you got, Monspeed just got a relic, sure, whatever. You have Galland, right? You have Old Zeldris, you have Derriere, you have Melascula, all these units that could really use a bit of a boost. That's just demons, right? This is where the real love needs to be in giants. Same thing within fairies. These 2 really could have used one. You give like this is supposed to be the king of giants, right? He's the king, and he's not usable at all. Neither is any of these old Dians. Neither really of these Matronas. They have their place, but not really. The only viable fairy unit is really King. And then you've also got the new Elaine, which is kind of cool in PvP. But it's just, why do this card when you have Mael and you have Goddesses and they are effective, and you have a different Margaret for Nidhogger unit, and then you LR her. Now, I know a lot of you guys in the comments are like, yeah, well, LR Margaret is for PvP, right, and it's to support the new Liz. Another point I want to make, where you just released an LR Liz unit. Again, for PvE, I get it, right, and the new Liz is for PvP. But why not balance it out? I mean, like, how many Liz's do we have now? Wow, 11? You know what I mean? Like, there's 11 Liz's. And again, yes, we have a whole bunch of melees and stuff as well, and we'll probably get an end-of-year melee, and I know that's what sells. But are you seriously telling me that you do an LR Liz, and then if you released a Chaos Arthur, it wouldn't do as well as Queen Liz in terms of, like, the value for money, right? If you released an Arthur that was, you know, a combination of these, whether it be, like, he brings this passive to PvP, and you actually make humans somewhat tanky, right? Or whether it's you combine the additional damage dealt, the additional HP, whatever it is, you bring a Chaos Arthur that supports the humans of LR Escanor, that is going to be a great unit for the game, right? And it's going to diversify the meta even more. Because we're going back to Goddesses, which is awesome. Goddesses need a bit of love. They dropped off very hard from the meta ever since, like, Demon King came in. But, you know, now we have a Demon King team. Then we have the Goddess team, which again is back to being strong. We have an Unknown team. Fairies are dead in the water, giants are dead in the water, right? But you could have given humans a bit more of a fighting chance. So I don't understand, first off, the pivot to making Margaret an LR unit, and then also making Liz an LR unit, but then 3 weeks later, a month later, or whatever, is bringing out another Liz, right? You could diversify the game so much more if you went, you know what, here's an LR Liz, yes, she's made for PvE, yes, we need a better PvP unit, but, like, there's other choices that they could have made there that I think would have allowed more, and even things like this, right? This girl, Green Elat, like, 30 Elat we've got? 30 Elat. I feel like there's more than that, but I might be over-exaggerating. 30 Elat that we've got. This Elat could have so easily been Neurobuster, right? You could have taken the exact same passive, you could have taken the exact same cards, you could have changed this ult ever so slightly, you wouldn't have needed the Holy Relic. Like, this is a Knighthood boss battle Holy Relic that's not going to serve her at all in this regards, right? Make this a Neurobuster, have a different backline unit, and then suddenly you've got LR Liz, you have a new Liz, you have LR Margaret, you have Mael, and then you have a decent backline unit. And, like, it just... again, you guys let me know down in the comments, I'm just rambling at this point, but to me, like, the flow of here's another Liz, here's LRing Margaret, like, to take an older unit and turn it into an LR and make it viable is an awesome concept, as I said before. But do it to an older unit that needs that love. Even if you pick a different goddess, right? Like, I'm not even fussed if you go, you know what, goddesses need some more love. Let's LR Sariel, right? Or let's LR the old Red Sariel, whose only real use now is as a really good link, right? Red Tarmiel's still strong, like, but don't LR that unit. But there's just so many other choices that would diversify the game even more. And look, like I said, I don't work at Netmarble. I love the game. I'm having a little bit of a whinge, but I'm not complaining, right? I'm just trying to understand. And like I said, you guys might know more than me, so you let me down in the comments if you think I'm way off base. But I just feel like having the diversification, like even just the way it flowed, right? We went from demon to human to goddess. Like, if we'd gone to giant and to fairy, that would have just been my OCD, or for everyone's OCD, right? It just would have followed a flow. We got a blue unit, which is good, right? Because red, green, red, blue. But just having that diversification on the top line would have been awesome. Would have potentially brought up, you know, fairies more into the meta or something like that if there was a possibility to do that. Or even just made fairies actually play in, like, a Sins team, right? Even if you LR, you know, this king. That would have been cool. You know, just like these units that have dropped off that just have pretty much no place in the game. Whereas Control, any of these units, like even this new Matrona, like, when are you going to use her? You know, there's just, I just feel like there's a lot of greenfield in terms of who you could LR and then who you could release. And I just feel like we're kind of getting stuck in the same cycle of here's a new Elat, right? And then here's a new Liz. And although I'll always play that and I'll always level up wherever she's gone, she's all the way down here because I'm waiting for the token, as you guys know. I'll still play her, and I think she's cool, and I think she's probably what Bloody Liz should have been, the original Liz, like in terms of the damage she outputs and stuff. But there's just would have been other options for a Chaos Arthur, let's say, or... And I know this all comes down to money at the end of the day. Like, Netmarble want the unit that will generate the most money, but I also feel like if you turned Elad into Nerobuster, people would throw money at that, right? Like the way this player base is, and much love to you all, but we're a simple breed, right? Like we like it would have been successful, and then having something like Chaos Arthur would have been hyped as, and I just feel like Liz just kind of wasn't the hype we wanted. And look, I may be taking all of this back when it comes to the next festival at the end of December, start of January, right? The New Year festival, because that's often like the most powerful unit in the game, and it might just come out with an insane LR for a giant and then a fairy unit or like whatever it is, right? But it just, yeah, Goddess, Elat, it just, the flow didn't make sense to me. And then, you know, to not help with the recycled stuff is we have this, which is always going to be part of it, right? We have this, which is a repeat. We have this, which is a repeat. These event bosses are repeats. It just like I'm hoping they're off working very hard on Origin or something like that. Just because like this festival is always super hype, and we have obviously, you know, the new Hero Arena and the new well, it's gone. The Trial of Courage that was here. You know, we had the Trial of Courage and stuff. Looks like they were trialing it. Get it? And they might be revamping it and bringing it back, hopefully with a better shop and stuff, because it just wasn't worth it. But yeah, it just feels like we're getting a little bit rinse and repeat with some of the stuff we've got. And I think they're making some decisions that, I don't know, again, I'm sure they know more than I do on the back end, but I just feel like we could have maybe gone a different direction. So I think that'll conclude my little rant. I'll have some showcases for the new Liz coming very, very shortly. Let me know if you guys think I'm way off base, if you think that I'm right or wrong. Feel free. It's just my opinion, right? Like I said, I love this game. I'll continue to love playing this game. They are, you know, they've been very great, very gracious, and sponsored me and you know, made me a Netmarble partner, which, you know, I can't complain about at all. But I'll also, you know, still share my thoughts, good and bad, and everything in between. So you guys let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, do it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks heaps.